Alexander Skvortsov on the left, Artemiev in the middle, Swanson on the right, as they say goodbye to their colleagues who they have been aboard the station with since May.
Saying goodbye to each other. Say it again. I didn't copy. Everything is nominal. We can see how you're saying goodbye to each other.
A very close-knit crew. Skvortsov, Swanson, and Artemiev about to
Moscow station. All right, so I think they will be going and transitioning to the vehicle already. Yes, you have our go for that.
and the Expedition 40 crew now inside the orbital module, the upper section of the Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft. One final round of photos, final waves, before they close the hatch and begin their preparations for undocking.
All right, let's count the crew members. 1, 2, 3. Yes, our crew is here. That's correct. So please give us a go. Is this the right crew that needs to go home? Yes, everything looks right to me. Perfect. All right, you have a go to close the hatches. Please inspect the surface and the ceiling closely before closing the hatches. Yes, copy. All right, they will close their hatch first, and then we will close our hatch. That's correct.
The process of coming home for these three crew members begins an extraordinarily long day, a day that turns into about a 24-hour day, in fact, if not more. And there the hatch is closed to the Soyuz spacecraft at 2:48 p.m. Central Time. Again, hatch closure at 2:48 p.m. Central Time. Steve Swanson, Alexander Skvortsov, and Oleg Artemiev aboard their Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft. They soon will place the transfer of power from the International Space Station to the Soyuz's onboard batteries, and will begin the process of conducting leak checks and donning their Sokol launch and entry suits.
Yes, we can see everything perfectly, that you're closing the hatches now. Only one hatch. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, they're closing their hatch. All right, we see it on our telemetry that the Soyuz hatch is closed. Great, we will be closing our hatch.
R5.
Swanson, Skvortsov, and Oleg Artemiev now are flying free of the International Space Station.
Operation.
And the separation burn is underway.
Прошлым кольцу по Москве в канале СГ-1 для Максима. Максим, мы можем до СГ-1 переходить, и у нас есть информация для всех.
Station Moscow for Maxim. Maxim, could you please move to space to ground 1? We have some information for you.
This is Mission Control Houston. External cameras on the International Space Station zooming in. There's a, there it is. There's your Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft with Steve Swanson, Oleg Artemyev, and Soyuz Commander Alexander Skvortsov on board, flying free of the International Space Station. The undocking occurring about...
Send our regards to the guys. Okay, I will do that, of course. Yeah, it will be the lucky times. You know, we were doing our best so that you feel that you're lucky when we are gone. Moscow station on space to ground 2. Maxim is calling. Go ahead, Maxim. Could you please repeat, the information that you have for me?
Once again,
you can move
the remaining crew members on board the station
on the third
talking about some housekeeping issues on board the station with Russian flight controllers as we continue to watch the Soyuz spacecraft with the 3 departing Expedition 40 crew members on board. And we just saw the heat shield being jettisoned on schedule, something we rarely have an opportunity to see. The base of the Soyuz now exposed with its altimeters, computing positional altitude and velocity information to its onboard computers. Touchdown confirmed. Touchdown right on the button at 9:23 p.m. Central Time, 8:23 a.m. on Thursday morning on the steppe of Kazakhstan. The Expedition 40 crew, Steve Swanson of NASA, and Russian cosmonauts Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemyev are home back on Earth after 169 days in space. And just 20 minutes after touchdown, your Soyuz commander, Alexander Skvortsov, is out of the center seat of the Soyuz descent module and being assisted towards a reclining, comfortable chair nearby to have a few minutes to get his equilibrium and his land legs back. And there is NASA's Steve Swanson, the Expedition 40 commander, who with this mission and this landing today completed his 3rd flight into space and a total of 196 days in orbit. And Oleg Artemyev is now out of the Soyuz spacecraft, so all three crew members now out. It's often more difficult for the crew member in the left seat, as was the case with Artemyev today, to be extracted as he is pulled over the center seat and out of the overhead hatch. But Artemyev looks well, and all three crew members are now out. Dan, we appreciate all of your reporting, and we wish you a safe travel back to Moscow. You'll be heading down for the launch with me here not too long from now, and we'll look forward to that as well.
That's right. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Rob. Thanks for the call, and Godspeed. Welcome home at crew of Expedition 40.
NASA Public Affairs Officer Dan Hewitt reporting from the landing site southeast of Kazakhstan on the steppe of Kazakhstan on a cloudless morning that saw the Soyuz TMA-14M-12M spacecraft touchdown right on time at 9:23 p.m. Central Time, about 37 minutes ago, 8:23 a.m. in Kazakhstan on Thursday morning. And Oleg Artemyev now in the process of being brought to the nearby inflatable medical tent. What you're watching here is a replay of video that came down a short time ago, just a few minutes ago, showing Alexander Skvortsov being brought into this inflatable medical tent so that he can be helped out of his Sokol launch and entry suit into more comfortable clothing. Skvortsov was joined moments later by NASA's Steve Swanson, and a few minutes after that by Russian cosmonaut Oleg Artemyev. And there's Swanson being assisted toward the medical tent, wearing sunglasses to shield his eyes from the bright Thursday morning sunlight. Again, what you're watching are ground personnel who provide the video for us from the landing site as they are replaying the crew being brought into the inflatable medical tent to the cheers of support personnel, members of the search and recovery forces.
Отваливаются эти электроды. У меня вот так. Это ощущение, как будто